All right, so this is the story about how I almost got robbed. All right, so let's just get straight into it. So not too long ago, I was making a video about some lenses that I was reviewing. And like any of my other videos, I got done with that video and realized that I wanted to go out and get more footage for the video. And I wanted to go out again because I realized I wanted to showcase these lenses in a more low light situation, but not nighttime, more of like a sunset, blue hour-ish type of time. So I waited all day to get ready, and when the time came, I started to get ready, put my clothes on, put a fresh little fit on because I was the main subject of the video. I was going out to film and shoot myself. So I put a nice little fit on, started getting my camera gear together, and as I was getting my stuff together, I was debating on if I should bring my gun with me. Like I was having this internal kind of battle with myself on if I should bring my gun with me, and I didn't want to bring it with me, and I was making all these excuses with myself like I'm only going to be gone for like 30 minutes to an hour. I'm not going nowhere crazy. I'm going not too far away from the crib, and again, like I said, I wasn't going nowhere crazy. The place that I was going was a gentrified kind of area, place where there's low crime. Now also, disclaimer, a lot of people in my last video saw that I had a gun in my camera bag. I wasn't doing that on purpose. I just carry a gun in my camera bag when I'm not carrying it on me. And anybody who's familiar with me, my work, or just where I come from, you know that this isn't a surprise. Like this isn't a big deal. The people who have been here for a long time know that when I did that, what's in my camera bag video like 10 years ago, that I showed that I carry a gun. Also just where I'm from, the things that I've seen, the things that I've been through, and just a plethora of other reasons I carry a gun when I'm out shooting, especially by myself. Also, I'm an American citizen. I like to exercise my Second Amendment rights that my ancestors fought very hard for me to have. But anyway, like I said, I wasn't going nowhere crazy. Very gentrified area. You can tell by what's around and who's around. But at the same time, like with any gentrification, it doesn't happen overnight. There's still some remnants of old Detroit and kind of just what Detroit was and just like what these places was before they were gentrified or in the midst of getting gentrified. Like you'll go somewhere, see a beautiful kind of mid-century home, and then like right next to it, you'll see an abandoned building. And that's not an over-exaggeration. Like you'll literally see that in this area. And just this area in general, you'll be in like a very gentrified part of it, then you'll go around the corner and you're right back in the trenches. And honestly, I think this just depicts the perfect picture of what inner city America is starting to become. But that's a conversation for another day. But anyway, I get all my stuff together, get myself together, get my shoes on, and honestly, I'm about to walk out the door and something just told me to go back and grab my gun, because in my head I was like, I'd rather have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Clearly, I think any situation can be boiled down to that exactly. So I went back, grabbed it, put it in my camera bag, and went out to shoot. Now where I was going was just this really big kind of abandoned parking lot. It was an abandoned kind of supermarket over there, and there's another business over there that's in business, but it's not in business for real, if you know what I mean. But anyway, yeah, really big parking lot, one way in, one way out. So I go all the way to the back of the parking lot because I don't want to be close to the street because of sound and just being seen by a bunch of people driving by. It's a main street, so and people are driving by constantly. So I go all the way to the back because honestly, that's just like a better place for me to be. Also in my head, I was like, if anything happens, since there is one way in and one way out, I'll see it happening before it happens so I can be visually aware, which is probably the theme of this whole kind of story that I'm about to tell you. So anyway, I get there, I start shooting. I take this kind of step stool out of my trunk because I was using it to kind of set focus, because since I was shooting by myself with some manual focus lenses, I needed something to focus on so I can get focused, and then I step in. If you do filmmaking and you film yourself with cine lenses, then you've done something like this before. But I had my step stool out, I had my camera out, my trunk was open. Now while I was shooting, there were cars coming into the parking lot, but they'll usually just pull right back out. I seen like probably 10-15 cars do this the entirety of the time that I was there. Like even the police had pulled in at some point and just pulled back out. I really think it's just an area where people, if they went the wrong way, it's a big enough parking lot, they can pull in, pull back out, and just go the way that they want it to go. So maybe 10 minutes into me being there, a car pulls in to the parking lot. And this is a car, I'm not gonna say exactly what kind of car, what color the car was or anything like that, but a car pulls in and I'm noticing this car. It's a very hard car to not notice, to be fair. I will say that the windows were super tinted, like probably the most tinted windows I've ever seen on a car in my life. I noticed them pull in and they kind of immediately pull right back out, so I'm not thinking nothing of it. But every car that's coming into the parking lot, I'm taking a mental note of all the cars that come into the parking lot. So fast forward maybe 35 minutes, the car that I was just talking about comes back and pulls into the parking lot. And immediately in my head, I go, that's weird. I just seen that car like 30 minutes ago. So without even really thinking about it, I go straight to my car because that's where my gun was. And I take my gun out of my camera bag and I'm just holding it. Because for me, it was weird that a car that came here 30 minutes ago is now pulling back in because, again, this is an abandoned parking lot. I'm not even supposed to be here. Or I really just have no business being here. And again, my kind of spidey been in the trenches before senses was just going off. Like it didn't make sense to me and I immediately just assumed that they was on bullshit. But anyway, I'm holding on to my gun and I'm kind of crouched down because my car is very low. It's a very short car. So I'm kind of crouched down. I'm also just like crouched down trying to see what they got going on. And they're sitting there. They're kind of really just sitting there, not really moving. Like they're inching forward, but like it's almost like they got their foot off the gas, but like, and they're like kind of pressing on the brakes, kind of like they're inching forward, but they're not like really going anywhere. And like, the whole time they do this for like probably 2 minutes. And the whole time I'm just staring at them because like I have no idea what they got going on. And again, I'm just being visually aware. I notice, I'm knowing that they're seeing me and I'm seeing them, and I'm just crouched down staring at them to see what was going on. So eventually they end up pulling out of the parking lot, and from where I was from, it was hard to see, but there's a gate and there's like some grass and some overgrown brush on the gate and stuff like that. But I can see them through the gate, like the cars that go by. And I noticed that they immediately made a U-turn and came back. And literally I was like, oh my God. So I immediately go into fight or flight mode. I'm thinking like, should I just try to go? But I got my camera out, it's on a tripod. Like, bro, you ever tried to collapse a tripod? You know how long it takes to collapse a tripod? I also got my step stool out. I got to put it back in the trunk, close the trunk. Also, I'm in my 83 Buick, which is not a car that you can just start up, get in, start up, and leave. Like, I get in there, I got to give it some gas, and then like I gotta let it sit there for a second to make sure the engine doesn't turn off. Like, this isn't a car I could just get up out of situations in. And honestly, I just really had no choice but to deal with whatever was about to happen. I had to stand my ground and just kind of stand 10 toes in what was about to happen. So I'm standing there, and then they come to the back and they pull up on me, and the person who was driving, he rolls the window down like kind of like just a little bit. I can only see the top of his head to like the bottom of his eyes, and it's all smoky in the car. It was honestly on some movie shit. I couldn't believe the things that I was seeing. Like, if I wasn't in the situation that I was in, it would have been one of the hardest shots ever. Just naturally, just one of the hardest shots ever. But I digress. So then he starts talking to me. He's like, hey bro,
what kind of camera is that?
And in my head I'm thinking, bro, you don't care what kind of camera this is. You also probably don't know what kind of camera this is. Like, bro is just like trying to talk to me. It seems like he's trying to distract me, but like honestly, everything he's saying, he sounds like a Sims character to me, like a minion. Like, everything he's saying is just, I'm really not listening to it because I'm really just trying to see into the car. Mind you, I can't see into the car because the windows are so tinted and just the smoke and just everything. Like, I really just can't even see into the car, but I'm trying to figure out if he's with somebody because there's nobody in the front seat. And I'm also just trying to see like what's going on. Like, in my head, I'm really just like looking for I'm just like trying to think of like what's gonna happen next and like what I'm gonna do if something does go left. So as he's talking to me, I noticed the back door, passenger door, open on his car. like whoever was getting out of the car, whoever opened the door was trying to be sneaky about it. But I'm standing far enough back that I could kind of see the car like lift up, because like the weight from the whoever was sitting in the back, like the weight went up in the back. And I also kind of like seen shoes, so like I was noticing that, you know, someone was getting out of the back passenger side door, which immediately alarm bells started going off crazy. I'm in a situation at this point. I'm in a situation. I don't know if the person who's about to come around the back of the car has a gun. I don't know if they're about to try to attack me. I don't know if the person in the front seat has a gun. I don't know what's going on, but honestly, it's not up for me to decide in this situation what these people who I don't know and are being shady. It's not up to me to decide what their motives are in this situation. But almost immediately as I notice that someone's getting out of the back of the car, I like pull my gun out of my pocket and take a few steps back.
Oh, hell no, bitch ass nigga.
And in my head, I was thinking like, bro, am I really about to, like, is this really a situation that I'm about to be in? Like, am I really about to have to do this? Like, this is insane. This is crazy, bro. I guess I was prepared to do whatever I had to do to protect myself in this situation. But thank God and luckily, like literally the moment that like I pulled my gun out and kind of stepped back and I was like, yo, what y'all on? Dude in the front seat yelled his friend's name. So one, I know his friend's name now. And then two, he yelled his friend's name and was like, hey, yo, get back in the car. So I never even seen the person come from around the back of the car. He gets back in the car and they just pull off and speed out of the parking lot. And then I'm just sitting there and I'm just looking like, bro, what the fuck? So I'm watching them make sure they leave and like actually leave before I like put my guard down. So they leave and I immediately pack up all my stuff and I go home, because I don't know if they're coming back. I don't know if they've called other people. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what their plan is. I don't know what their motives are. Again, not up to me to decide or to figure that out. But yeah, anyway, after that, I left and went home. I didn't even get to finish what I was shooting, which was probably the most frustrating thing about the entire situation. I don't tell this story because I think it's cool or that I'm even proud of myself. I'm honestly sympathizing with the people that did this, because again, I feel like some people feel like they need to do these things. I feel like a lot of people are products of their environment. A lot of people are misguided and they're just doing things that they think they have to do to either feed themselves or feed their families or whatever the case may be. I sympathize with that because again, I come from a place similar, or I come literally from where they come from if they're from Detroit. And I guess I just kind of get it, but at the same time, people can also just be terrible human beings. That's also a reality of a situation. I am by myself. I'm 5'6". They probably thought like, you know, I got a camera. They probably thought I was some like, I don't know, nerd or someone who wouldn't fight back or whatever the case may be. They thought whatever they thought, and they thought that maybe they might be able to do what they wanted to do. I also tell this story because I know a lot of other photographers and filmmakers who have been in similar situations and weren't so lucky to not get their things stolen or get hurt because they weren't visually aware of what was going on, or just like visually aware of their surroundings. Because I feel like being visually aware, like noticing that the car that came 10 minutes earlier came back, and just noticing that they were moving really weird or just like being shady, just noticing all of those things will help you in the long run. Because I was able, could you imagine if I was just shooting, didn't notice any of the things that were happening, and then they pull up, I don't have my gun on me, so they can honestly do whatever they wanted to do at that point. I just would have been standing there wishing I went and grabbed it. Also, I'm happy that I even brought it with me because initially I wasn't going to. But again, just being visually aware of your surroundings and the people that's in your vicinity is so important. It's more important than just protecting yourself, in my opinion. I think for me, my entire life, I just grew up kind of watching everything and just kind of noticing things and seeing things before they happen, because I've been in situations and I've seen other people get in situations, and I just know what comes with a lot of like just going in the wrong area at the wrong time or whatever the case may be. Anything can happen, and you always think like certain things can't happen to you, but as we all know, that's not the case. Anything can happen to anyone. But at the same time, bro, I can't be like fighting cancer and trying to fight off these stupid ass little boys, bro. Like, we like something like, bro, I like, come on, dude. Like I'm so tired, I'm exhausted. I really don't have time for that. But yeah, I also make this video to tell everyone to be safe. I know we get so caught up in making the things that we want to make, and we want to go out whether we got help or not. I'm very guilty of that. I go out all the time without any help or without anybody or just anything, because I just want to do the things that I want to do so bad that I really don't care about anything else. And I just also have a lot of trust in society and humanity and my fellow citizens, which sometimes, you know, could be a bad thing. But at the same time, you just, you know, got to stay on your toes and just like be aware and be visually aware and just notice things happening before they happen is the biggest advice I can give to anyone who goes out and does the same exact things, probably from the same exact places. So anyway, yeah, that is the story about how I almost, what feels like, got robbed. I'm 100% positive, because again, if you come from where I come from, I know I'm saying that a lot, but again, I'm telling you, if you come from where I come from and you just have been in situations like this, you know what was going, like you know that what was going on when it was going on before it was going on. Like from the moment they pulled back in, I was like, all right, yep, this is that. Like I didn't even have to think about it, I already knew. But anyway, again, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I didn't have fun making this video. I did have fun making the reenactment. That was fun. That's always fun. Making videos is always fun, but the fact that the situation happened is not fun. I don't wish, like, I'm not happy that I got to make this video, but you know, it is what it is. With that being said though, subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, spread awareness, all that stuff, man. So again, I'm gonna get up out of here. I'm gonna go do some shit. You know the vibes, man. Let's get it.